Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus on this Tuesday evening. I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi with another live update on the potential for several inches of snow for us here in the Denver area starting very late tonight, probably after midnight, when we see that snow starting to stick. And then by tomorrow morning, we're going to probably wake up to a couple inches worth of snowfall, and it's going to snow throughout the day here coming up on your Wednesday. And by the way, that snow, it looks like at this point those totals are continuing to tick on up. Let's show you, in the meantime, statewide, those winter storm warnings that are in effect right now. You get along the and south of the Palmer Divide, a widespread 4 to 8 inches worth of snowfall looks likely, although we're starting to maybe nudge those numbers a bit closer to the Denver area. And speaking of the Denver area, for obviously a lot of you watching or joining us here from the Denver area, we've been emphasizing this a bit more as the best way to maybe visualize these forecasts is through probability forecasting. And again, it might sound Vegas-y, sports betting wise, but the reality is that we are forecasting, we're predicting the future. So when we're talking about that, there's a lot of uncertainty that goes involved. So the best way to maybe visualize it, again, there's about a 50% chance that we end up with 3 to 6 inches worth of snowfall in the Denver area. Now, nudging things up to about a 40% chance for 7 to 10 inches worth of snow in the Denver area. That will probably be on the south side of town. And then there's a chance for 1 to 2 inches worth of snowfall, but a diminishing chance of that. It looks like the computer models today have really ticked up those snowfall totals and kind of brought up the heaviest of the snowfall a little bit further north, making a higher snowfall a bit more likely for us across the metro area. So what you need to know, highest impacts will be for the Wednesday morning and evening commutes for tomorrow. We're going to be okay for the evening rush today, although we are starting to see a little bit of light snow developing across the southern and western parts of, well, I should say this, it's more south of the Palmer Divide, along the south of the Divide. We're starting to see a little bit of light snow that is developing at this point. I think we're going to have major issues at the airport tomorrow. Probably not a whole lot of cancellations, some, but not a ton of cancellations. Just a lot of delays because of the wind and the snow. That combination is going to make things pretty unsettled as we get through the day tomorrow at the airport. And the heaviest snowfall will be on the south and west sides of town where there's better upslope flow. But the Wednesday morning commute in particular looks very nasty for us here across the metro area. In terms of the timing, the snow will start between about 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. tonight. So overnight tonight and early tomorrow, and snows all day tomorrow. Snow ends tomorrow night between about 6 and 10 p.m. on your Wednesday evening with the, as I mentioned, heaviest totals on the west and south sides of town. The snow will end from west to east as we head through the overnight hours. So let's kind of time this out for you in a bit more detail. You just kind of saw that in fast motion. Let's kind of slow this up for you here and back things up and show you tonight by about 10:30. Starting to see maybe the first flakes flying here across the metro area. Then by about 2, 3 a.m., that's when we're seeing that kind of heavier snowfall move its way on through. And notice at 8:30 tomorrow morning, right in the heart of that morning rush, it is going to be coming down. It's going to be snowing pretty heavily for us. And throughout that morning commute, that heavier snow will pull its way off to the east. As it does so, it'll still leave behind some light snow, but the accumulating snow should end by about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow, and any last flakes done by about 10, 11 o'clock or so tomorrow night. We'll wake up to sunny but cold conditions on your Thursday morning. Let's take a closer look in here at the immediate metro area and what we can expect here. It's taking a second to load, but you'll see it here in just a second. There it is. That snow, again, 10, 11 o'clock tonight, might not even be snowing, maybe a few flakes on the south and west sides of town. Then by 11, 12 o'clock or so, the heavier snowfall pushing its way into the metro area, and that snow will continue to come on down throughout the overnight hours. Heaviest, as I mentioned, south and west sides of the metro area. And then that snow will continue through most of tomorrow morning with some periodic bands of heavier accumulation. And by about 10, 11, 12 o'clock or so, that heavier snow starts to come to an end, but that snow will continue throughout the day tomorrow before coming to a close between about 5 and 10 p.m. tomorrow night. I know we've been kind of focusing here on the Denver area and some of those impacts out our way, but maybe worth taking a look at what we can expect statewide. And this is something worth noting as well, is that the heaviest snowfall looks to fall across the southern part of the state. I mentioned this over the last few days. This is the part of Colorado that needs the snow the most. Southern Colorado, I know for most of us here in the Denver area, we've been thinking about how much snow we've had so far this season, about 37 inches so far this season. But along and north of I-70, that's where we've had all the snow. Southern Colorado's mostly missed on out. That will change with this system. We've already seen a good amount of snow in places like Wolf Creek, Telluride, Durango, and that snow is going to pick on up for tonight, and that's where we're expecting some of those highest totals. Again, southern Colorado, the part of the state that is needing the snow the most, will get in on that. Closer look in here at the metro area. This is one computer forecast model. I mentioned those probabilities. Most of us probably still in that 3 to 6 inch range by the time this wraps up tomorrow afternoon. I do think we wake up to about 2 to 3 inches worth of snow tomorrow morning, about 5, 6 a.m., about 2 to 3 inches of snow on the ground. And through the day, it'll continue to snow fairly lightly with another 1 to 3 inches of snow possible throughout the day tomorrow. But again, what you wake up to tomorrow morning will probably end up being the majority of it, half, if not a bit more than half of the snow that we'll get total from this storm system. But as you go north, you're going to get downslope off the Cheyenne Ridge. You get west, you get south. That's where you're getting those higher totals. And what you're seeing here, I honestly think maybe a little bit on the low side. I would guess we're going to end up with a few more 5s and 6s than what this map is showing here, but worth a look, and that may be on the lower side of what we may expect as we head over the next few days. So tomorrow, it's also, we haven't talked about this enough yet. It is a cold day for a day tomorrow as well. We're going to be talking about temperatures that are going to be stuck in the teens throughout the day. Basically, might top out at 22 degrees. Then Thursday morning, single-digit low temperatures. That's your air temperature. You factor in the wind chill, and we're probably talking about sub-zero wind chills tomorrow night and Thursday morning. So don't overlook the cold with the system. It is going to be very, very cold throughout the day tomorrow. Winds will be gusty at times. It is going to be, needless to say, unpleasant. But then by Thursday morning, we do start to clear things on out. Temperatures will be on the chilly side, but then we warm things up very, very quickly by the weekend. Much warmer temperatures. And we do have a system that's going to pass its way on through for the early part of next week. Right now, it doesn't look to be that big of a deal, but we do have the chance for at least some snow for us Monday night into your Tuesday. How that looks, it's still way too early for that, but I will say, overall, it does look like an active pattern with perhaps another storm mid to end part of next week as well. So if you like snow, this is a great forecast for you. If you don't like snow, sorry. It's I'm not actually making the forecast. I don't control the weather at all. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen at this point, and it does look like we're going to get this is a pretty solid middle high impact storm. Another question I've been getting a lot of, and before we kind of get on out of here, I do want to address this. I've been getting a lot of questions on social media about schools tomorrow, and I think what we're looking at for tomorrow is more along the lines of school closures for most of the metro area. Seeing some responses, only 4 or 5 inches worth of snowfall. The issue, as I see it, and the reason why I think we're looking at more closures, is we're going to wake up to a couple inches of snow tomorrow morning, and it's going to be snowing all day long. This snow is not going to end at the earliest. This ends at 5 o'clock tomorrow, so it's going to be snowing all day long, accumulating snow throughout the day as well. So again, enough snow on the ground in the morning, plus the snowfall throughout the day. To me, admittedly, I am not a superintendent. I do not make these decisions. I have nothing to do with those decisions. I'm just telling you what I think is going to happen. Do your homework, kids. But I do think we are probably talking about school closures tomorrow. That would be my guess, my hunch, especially on the south and west sides of town. Maybe Fort Collins, Greeley, where we'll end up with an inch or two of snow. We'll probably, kids, sorry, you'll probably have school tomorrow. But you get north of, say, Brighton, that's where we're looking at those lighter totals, and probably schools will stay open. But I think Denver on south, my guess is we're probably talking about closures tomorrow. And as mentioned, some pretty big issues at the airports. And not to say the roads are going to be a mess, especially tomorrow morning in particular. It looks pretty nasty. So hopefully it gives you a good idea about what to expect as we head through the overnight hours into your day tomorrow. If not, Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin's on here at 9 News at 4, now heading to the 5 o'clock hour, and also meteorologist Danielle Grant will be on at 6 o'clock, as well as at 9 and 10 tonight. So Danielle's back. We've got a whole team here tracking this for you here on 9 News and on 9 News Plus. We'll have, by the way, special updates throughout the day tomorrow as well, and we have special coverage on 9 News starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow. So again, I'm going to say goodbye for now, but in the meantime, again, lots of different ways you can catch us throughout the rest of tonight. And again, that early bonus coverage starting at 4 a.m. tomorrow here on 9 News, and we'll have updates for you on 9 News Plus as well throughout the day as needed. So stay with us here on 9 News for the latest on the snowstorm. Once again, I'm meteorologist Chris Bianchi, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.